Just for the record, I agreed to the 5 minutes. There's nothing in our protocol that requires the 5 minutes. So when you say 5 minutes at the most, you're setting a precedent that we don't have on this floor.
I did say please, sir.
I stand corrected. I missed the please. Thank you very much. So this disease is absolutely horrible, and I feel for those families, just as I feel for the families that have victims of torture in their family. If you look above my head at the faces in the gallery, you will see torture victims, people who are tortured at the hands of the Chinese government. Those people are the faces of this resolution. Those people are the people that endured what the Chinese government has done to the Falun Gong practitioners. We talk about marginalized groups on this floor. And yes, maybe torture victims, maybe having your organs harvested against your will, is not as sexy as the LGBTQ community or Black Lives Matter. And yet, we have in the past done resolutions in support of them, united resolutions on this floor. We've done resolutions for the Armenian and the Jewish Holocaust and genocide. And no one has ever fought to have those on the floor. But the Chinese government never sent a letter to all of you and to leadership asking that it not be brought on the floor. Now, I went through the rules. I did everything correctly. It was heard in committee. It was rewritten in committee. And I want to thank the chair again for rewriting it. But I thought when I accepted all the rewriting that meant it would come to this floor and not be ripped from this floor. So I've had to amend all these resolutions because I believe that every member of this floor should have a right to have the resolution heard. Now, you may look down at your phones and iPads and look at the computer and ignore those faces that are above me. But I just want you to understand that when you go home and you sleep at night, I want you to remember those faces that you chose to ignore. I want you to feel good about yourself that you didn't allow a vote to occur on this floor, whether you supported it or not. Now, I heard some members in passing, people in passing, saying, well, but they're a cult. Whether what their faith is doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter. When people are the victims of genocide, we all should stand united. Now, I don't know what kind of control that China has over you, that you wouldn't stand with me for the first time in 11 years that I've been serving in this legislature. But I'm a little disappointed. In fact, I'm a lot disappointed because I've done everything in my power to make this resolution something that we all can vote for. And instead, I don't have any ability. The supermajority of this floor, the one-party rule, won't allow the superminority to be heard on this floor. That's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disappointing. And to talk about procedures and argue the last bill without allowing me to have my opinion on this floor, you can vote against it, you can speak against it. But to hide from your constituents, because I don't believe any one of your constituents agrees with genocide. I don't believe any one of your constituents would be proud of us now for not allowing something to be on the floor and be heard. So you're gonna table this yet again, and I'm gonna continue to amend things, and I'm gonna continue to do resolutions, wharfing it to the floor. And you're gonna have to actively vote to silence me, and you're gonna have to actively vote to silence those people. And I'll put you on record time and time again, because what you're doing is un-American. And I really think that if you looked in the mirror long and hard, that's not who you are as people. You're good people. You've always come together against genocide. And yet, in this particular instance, you're turning a closed eye to those people who are sitting above me, who have been tortured. Come on. Come on. We're better than this. Let's not be partisan on such an issue. Let's pull together. And if you have to vote no because you disagree, then vote no. But all your congressmen here in California have voted for it. And they voted for a resolution that was much stronger than what my resolution says. But you can't even bring yourself to recognize their resolution in a resolution. You can't even recognize the truth that Falun Dafa is a faith of 3 principles. They meditate on truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. These aren't horrible traits, these are wonderful traits. And yet when you look up above me and you see the faces of torture victims, I want you to think that you didn't have it in your heart to allow this to be heard on this floor. Now you may be able to think, well, we just have to go through 5 more of these before the end of session. Yeah, you're the supermajority. You get to dictate to all of us and crush us like little bugs. And because I may not agree with you, you think that you can use your power to bully me, just like the Chinese government believes that they can bully them. It's wrong. You know it to be wrong. I deserve my day on this floor, but more importantly, those people, those victims of torture, they deserve champions on this floor, not one, but many champions. I just don't know what happened to my colleagues.